Bulls Nation, isn't it just funny how things turn around from one game to another? Last game we were talking about our first loss of the season, and now today we'll be talking about our biggest win of the season. It's a fantastic showing from the Chicago Bulls today, and we're going to be talking all about the Bulls and the Jazz in this video. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about our biggest win of the season against the Utah Jazz. They came into the United Center undefeated, and they've walked out of the United Center with the first loss of the season for them, and it was a great performance from the Bulls today, and we'll be talking all about it in this video. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about who was your player of the game and all the way around just how solid was the Chicago Bulls today. We won this game 107-99. I felt like the Bulls were the dominant team throughout the course of the game and definitely, rightfully deserved win for us today. Again, we gave the Utah Jazz their first loss, and we continued our winning ways with the Chicago Bulls and continuing to elevate us in the regular season. Now, for many people that said we can't beat good teams, for many people that said we haven't versed anybody good yet, this is a message to all of them saying that we can beat good teams. Let's talk about some of the positives from the Chicago Bulls. I would like to really discuss the way that we played defense today. We were scrambling on everything. We were making sure that the three-point shooters of the Utah Jazz were very uncomfortable, throw them off their game a little bit. They weren't really effective as a three-point shooting unit today, and I thought the Bulls did a fantastic job in closing out to those perimeter shooters. I also thought the Chicago Bulls kept the ball very, very well today. Some of the biggest things that we saw, the Chicago Bulls had 9 turnovers today, and the Utah Jazz had 20 turnovers today. They had more than double our turnovers in this game. And that is, in my opinion, is what ended up giving us the victory, because I thought Utah, I've always admired the way the Utah play. They're very team-orientated. They make sure that a lot of players get their shots in. And it was a lackluster performance from them. Obviously, they don't have Mike Conley. We have to give them that respect that Mike Conley didn't play, and he's a big part of their team. But I thought throughout the course of the game, we ended up really making this Utah Jazz team feel uncomfortable in terms of the way that they like to play with the perimeter. And of course, the Utah Jazz were also very strong with screens. I thought we did a good job trying to fight over the screens, and we made sure they took tough shots. It wasn't easy for the Utah Jazz today, and that's why they walked out with their first loss. But another strong performance from a lot of our players today, and a game where we really needed the energy. I want to give full credit to the bench for stepping up and providing that energy. As soon as we were in a close, competitive, tight affair with the Utah Jazz, our bench came in and brought the key difference, which was energy. And that was the reason why when our bench came in, we elevated our lead and we kept on pushing, and they did a fantastic job today making sure that the Chicago Bulls team walked away with a win. I want to give full credit to the way that the bench played today. Obviously, we still got out-rebounded. It wasn't as a big amount of a margin that I would have expected, considering how small this team played. I thought the Utah Jazz would demolish us in the rebounding battle. I don't think they demolished us, but they definitely beat us in the rebounding battle. But again, I think that's going to be expected for many teams now. What we have to do is continue to run out in transition, continue to get blocks and deflections and steals, and hopefully we can make up for those rebounding numbers in those areas. And I also thought we did a good job in that one today. Overall, strong performance from the Chicago Bulls. And now let's look at the individual performances for today's game. Let's start off with the man that got 30 points today, DeMar DeRozan. He dropped 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists in today's game. I thought he was absolutely sensational. That second quarter from DeMar DeRozan was pivotal towards this win as well. He was making sure that he was getting those one-on-one isolation plays that he wants. And DeMar DeRozan, we all know, Dead-Eye DeRozan, he's a fantastic isolation player, and he made players pay today. I thought he was by far the best player on the team, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But it was fantastic, and he deserves a lot of praise for the way that he played today. It was efficient as well. I think that's the biggest thing as the reason why DeMar was probably the best player. He did it efficiently. There was not many shots today that was bricking or airballing for DeMar today. He was sensational when it comes to efficiency, and he dropped 32 points. A great performance from DeMar DeRozan. Zach LaVine has 26 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. I don't think he was as efficient, but what I like from Zach LaVine is he did attack the paint a lot more. He got foul calls. The refs were giving us foul calls today, which was great to see. And all the way around, I like the way that he attacked the paint. I don't think three-point shooting and mid-range shooting at the moment, I think he still has to get used to it, obviously with his torn ligament in his thumb. And he still made some pretty good shots today as well. But the paint, attacking the paint, was exactly what I wanted to see from Zach LaVine. And again, when Rudy Gobert is not in the game, you have to make sure that you attack the paint. That's your opportunity to go at Hassan Whiteside, go and attack all the other players that they have on the team and get points in the paint. And I thought we did a very good job of that today as well. Nikola Vucevic had 16 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. This was a completely different game from Nikola Vucevic from what you saw on the New York Knicks side of things to the Utah Jazz side of things. I thought Nikola Vucevic was extremely inefficient today, and he was bricking shots. And this boggles my mind a little bit because we have not seen a game where all starting 5, even starting 4 players are playing at their highest level yet. We have not seen a game where if DeMar DeRozan plays good, Zach LaVine plays good, Vucevic plays good, and Lonzo plays good. We haven't seen all 4 of them really play well in the regular season yet, at least according to my knowledge. For what I've seen, they haven't played terrifically well together yet. But when we are able to, hopefully one day we'll see all these 4 players play elite basketball, I can only imagine how much of a better team we can be. I thought Vucevic really stepped up in the 4th quarter. You have to give him credit. When we needed him the most, he made a huge 3. He got some free throws in there, and he got a really good driving layup on Rudy Gobert as well. So he stepped up in the 4th quarter, and that's all you can ask when you're having a really poor efficiency night. But yeah, I can't wait to see actually all 4 of these players play well together. Only a select few play well with each other at certain games, and then other games they just don't end up performing well. So I'm not sure, but yeah, when all 4 of these players really play well together in one game, my goodness, what a crazy game that's going to be. I'm really looking forward to that one. Lonzo Ball had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 steals. Defensively, as usual, I don't even need to... I feel like I repeat myself every video when it comes to the defense of Lonzo Ball. 4 steals today, absolutely massive. And in a game where he's not as involved as you would like, he had 11 points. I don't recall if he even made a shot within the second half. I can't remember. I'm sure many of you will let me know about that in the comments below. He did score a lot better today. He had 11 points instead of 6 against the Knicks. And I do think he is a big difference to why we won the game, rebounding defensively wise. And of course, adding those 11 points on top of that is a good sign in my opinion. Yeah, that's all I could really say. I think 2 assists, I think that needs to improve as well. But for the most part, he's not necessarily handling the ball as much as you'd probably like to see from Lonzo Ball. And again, I think that will change over time. We'll have to wait and see. I think it just depends on the game that we have. And yeah, it was a really good performance from Lonzo Ball defensively today once again. I keep repeating myself, but again, every game, he keeps showing it. So every game, I have to keep saying it. Javonte Green had 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. There's not too much to say about Javonte Green that we haven't already said in the past. Energy player. At the end of the day, we needed a lot of plays to kind of take Patrick Williams' spot. We saw Tony Bradley play today. We saw, obviously, Derrick Jones Jr. play some games today. And I absolutely thought that they did a good job in taking away, in kind of replacing Patrick Williams and taking his role, which is good to see. Obviously, many people wanted Javonte Green to start anyway. It's a good game. He got into foul trouble. That's probably the only thing I can say. And he kind of took him off the floor for a little bit. He's an energy player, so I think we're going to expect a lot of foul calls on Javonte Green. But again, it was a really strong performance. It was a good start to the game as well from him. That's all I could really say on that situation. Alex Cruz had 7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Not the best game from Alex Cruz, I think we can all say that. However, he did make some big shots in today's game as well. Again, the defensive leader on the court. He did get a steal today. It's all I could really say. This is a game where I expect Alex Cruz to kind of be not necessarily the most loudest player in terms of scoring and offense, but he played a really big role today on the defensive side of the ball and kind of I guess, aggravating the Utah Jazz, getting them very uncomfortable, making sure that they ended up turning the ball over. We saw a lot of instances where the Utah Jazz got a lot of out-of-bounds calls on them, and it's Chicago's ball because Alex Cruz is pressuring and pressuring and pressuring. I think we saw that with Bogdanovic, we saw that with Jordan Clarkson, and Alex Cruz was really good defensively today as well. Aidan had 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Again, these are the energy players. They don't necessarily show on the stat sheet how important they were, but my goodness, as soon as you saw them come into the game, they made a tremendous impact. I thought Ayo was the same. Absolutely strong impact player from Ayo Dosunmu today. He was fantastic in terms of energy, defensively as well. I've not seen Jordan Clarkson have a bad game like that in a long time. I think he was 0-10 at one point in terms of this game. And that's the 6th Man of the Year candidate. That he won the 6th Man of the Year last year. So I think the bench did a fantastic job in shutting down their bench. And they're one of the best benches in the league. Obviously, scoring-wise, we still need more scoring off of this bench. But defensively, we have a fantastic bench on this team. And it really shows in this game with the way that we locked up the Utah Jazz's bench. Great to see. Derrick Jones Jr. had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. And I think he had 3 blocks in today's game as well, Derrick Jones Jr. I'm not too sure about that. Again, I'll correct it in the photo that you'll see. But, I mean, for his debut game, this is probably as good as it gets. Very good defensive player. I think we all know defensively Derrick Jones Jr. is capable of playing multiple positions on this team. And I think he showed that in today's game. Getting out in transition, getting some dunks in there. This is what Derrick Jones Jr. is good for, and this is why I feel like the Bulls wanted him from a long time ago. And again, the depth of this team is very important, and having someone that can fit Patrick Williams' shoes as well, coming off of the bench while he's out, and we have Javonte starting. He's a really good player to have on this team. Same with Troy Brown Jr. when he gets game time as well. I think they're both going to be splendid players off of the bench for this team. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how he can perform in the future. This is a really strong game from him. Last but not least, Tony Bradley had 2 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Again, energy player, impact player. He comes in, he blocks Hassan Whiteside, he gets a couple of boards, he gets a shot. It was just great impact play from Tony Bradley. And I think this game, although the stats may not show it once again, I think this game definitely shows he deserves a little bit more playing time on this team. And let's see if he could get it in future games. I really think when teams are playing big, he is the right man to go with in terms of the center position. We didn't see Alize Johnson today. I'm a bit saddened by that, but at the end of the day, we won the game, so I can't complain too much about that. Now let's talk about the must improve, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to target. I know stat-wise he had a very strong game, but in terms of efficiency, he was extremely lackluster today. Nikola Vucevic, for every reason that I just said just now, as well as a little bit of the, again, the defensive end. He wasn't as strong today. He wasn't strong, I should say. And yeah, that's all I could really say. I think everything I said in Nikola Vucevic's individual performance is what I could say here. It just wasn't a really strong efficiency game. And again, I just can't wait to see how this team will go when it comes to actually playing all these players and they're all playing really well. We could be a very dangerous team if a team doesn't play defense on us and the Chicago Bulls ends up heating up from the field. And the player of the game is easily DeMar DeRozan. There's not too much conversation here. When you have a 32-point night with 6 rebounds, he got 3 assists as well. Playmaking was strong. Obviously, scoring was strong. And I thought, without his second quarter especially, I don't think the Chicago Bulls, I think we would still win the game, but I still think it would be a really, really close contest. And again, this game specifically shows that you have to keep playing in all 4 quarters. The Utah Jazz did come very, very close in this game, and you have to give them respect in that area because obviously they're a dangerous 3-point shooting team and they're a very good team in general, so you always thought there was a chance they could come back. But players like DeMar, Zach LaVine, even Vucevic in the 4th quarter iced the game for the Chicago Bulls, and we got a really huge victory on our hands. The Bulls' record is 5-1. I don't think many people, maybe many people would have predicted this coming in, and that's all fine and good, ladies and gentlemen, but 5-1 is a fantastic start to the season. And again, for all those people that said we can't beat good teams, I think this is an example that this team is a good team. and we can be dangerous on our night, and this was definitely our night. We will face the Utah Jazz one more time in the regular season, obviously at Utah's home grounds, which is obviously going to be a very tough game. We know how good Utah are. I know we beat them in this game, and hopefully we can go into Utah's home turf and beat them away from home as well. But they're a great team, and I'm not going to hide the fact just because we won the game. I'm not all about disrespecting teams when we win. I think Utah are a great team, and I think they're going to have a great season this year. But the Bulls did win this game, and that's all that matters to me, and I'm very happy about that. And hopefully when we verse them again, we can continue that strong performance that we had against them. Our next game is against the Boston Celtics away from home. This is going to be a tough game. I believe Boston are coming into this game losing 2 in a row or 3 in a row. I'm not sure. I believe they lost in overtime today against the Washington Wizards, double overtime. So they'll come in looking for vengeance, and we should be ready for them. They'll be attacking us, and let's see if our defense holds up against a really strong Boston Celtics side with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, obviously Al Horford returned as well. Dennis Schroeder, they have some really good offensive firepower there. Let's see if our defense can hold, because I think offensively we can hold our own. We'll wait and see. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. Enjoy this victory. It's a huge victory, and it's definitely a victory that should go around to the rest of the league, that we are for real and we can beat good teams now. And hopefully this is an example of that, and we can see a little bit more of it in future games. Take care and peace.